welcome back to my YouTube channel. Thank you to everyone that has come in contact with this channel and liked the video, shared the video, or even subscribed. I'm super grateful. And to newcomers, welcome, and please subscribe to this channel. I promise you will not regret it. Right, in today's video I will be sharing my experience giving birth in Canada, Calgary precisely, and my hospital was Rockyview General Hospital in Calgary, Alberta in Canada. Now, as a first-time mom, I was very curious as to how the process was. I mean, what to do. Yes, in the process, basically, I searched online for videos, people's reviews, people sharing their experiences giving birth specifically in that hospital. I did get some reviews and just some short reviews to say, oh, it's a great hospital, their experience, and all of that. But I wanted like a step-by-step or a stage-by-stage review, sort of, just to know, to know what are we expecting, right? I mean, yes, your doctors will tell you what to expect and all of that, but they will not give as much details as someone that has currently or just pastly experienced the same thing. So I just wanted to hear from the horse's mouth, to say. And I'm a sucker for reviews, I'm a sucker for feedbacks and stuff. So I just wanted to hear from somebody that had gone through that process, and of course specifically in my city and in the specific hospital. Now I've gone through the experience, and it's time for me to also share my experience, because there might be a curious first time mom out there trying to find information about this thing. So let's dive straight into this video. Okay, so I'm going to be starting from when I found out I could be pregnant, right? I mean, after the home test and all of that, I booked an appointment with my family doctor. I already had a family doctor when I moved to Canada. Like, I got a family doctor when I came newly to Canada, and you can actually find a family doctor online if you are new in the city. I'm going to put the link to the website where you can find a doctor in Alberta generally, in the what's it called now, in the description box. Okay, in the description box below. And okay, so I booked an appointment with my doctor. I didn't need to find a doctor because I already had a family doctor, and letting them know that I think I might be pregnant and I wanted to confirm and see my doctor and all of that. So they set up an appointment and I went in. They confirmed that I was pregnant, and then scheduled me for ultrasounds, blood work, and all of that. The first trimester, the whole ASO checking to make sure you're okay, things are going well. So I went for the ultrasounds, did the blood work, and all of that. Everything was fine. And my family doctor basically, took charge of everything. I didn't need to worry about anything. So my family doctor took care of all of the paperwork and all of that. All I needed to do was present myself, say, hey, I'm pregnant, can you guys check? And then they did a test on me, and then they were able to confirm. Now, blood work, ultrasounds, all done, and they asked where I wanted to give birth. I think you usually would have a choice as to what hospital you want to give birth in. Most people will just pick an hospital close to them or a preferred hospital. I didn't know anything about any of the hospitals. I wasn't sure of, I mean, I have no experienced childbirth before. I don't know which one is good for CS, which one is experienced. I had no idea. So I just chose the one very close to me, or very, very close to where I used to live, which was Rockyview General Hospital. And she said, okay. And then she linked me up with the OBGYN in Rockyview. She set up, she transferred me after the first trimester. So she basically took care of me for the first trimester, for the first 3 months, and referred me to the OBGYN, who then took over. So after she referred me, the OBGYN office called me, and they get basic information, how you're feeling, ask you general questions and all of that. And they set up an appointment for me. So I went there and then met one of the doctors, and they explained what the process was going to be like. Now, the OBGYN's office is not in the hospital. They have a separate office that is not too far from the hospital, because they're going to be seeing you on, frequent basis before baby comes, right? So their office was not in the hospital. I was expecting that I was going to, I was going to be going to the hospital, but no. So I went to the OBGYN's office. They told me what the procedure is going to be like. They're a team of doctors, and I basically just saw one of them all through, because they would make you set appointments for each week and each stages. I can't remember all of those weeks, but when you get there, when you get to that level, they're going to explain how it works. So basically, the OBGYN would always check me at every appointment, check my blood pressure, my weight, and heartbeat of baby. So they also, scheduled me for another ultrasound. I think at every step of the way you do ultrasounds and stuff, and blood work, and then you also do the blood sugar test as well for diabetes. So as usual, I would go in, they would do their checks and all clear. And then when they started to hear for the baby's beat, it was all good. I think at the point we found that the baby had skipped beats. So the first time she found out that the baby had skipped beats, she sent me straight to the general hospital. That was the first time I went to Rockyview General Hospital Labor and Delivery Department. So I went there, and usually when your OBGYN checks and she feels like, or she hears something might be not too good, she sends you down, or whoever it is, he or she sends you down to the hospital. Now in my case, she sent me down to the hospital so that they could check with proper machines. And they had checked, and they put me on the machine for like an hour or thereabouts, 45 minutes to 1 hour, and they had checked and everything was good. There was no skipped beat. So to be safe, they asked me to do another ultrasound to listen for the beats this time around. So they set that appointment up for me as well. They gave me the requisition, so I called and set that appointment. And then I went there and did the ultrasound, and then they could still hear the skipped beat. And at that point, I started becoming worried, because skipped beat, no skipped beat, skipped beat. And then they assured me that it wasn't so much of a big deal. They just wanted to know all that they need to know before delivery so they could prepare. And it's not like it's something like it's just a mechanical whatever that they explained to calm me down and everything. And everyone said it's fine. You don't have to worry about it. These are things that we just need to know, to watch out for, and all of that. Okay. And then pregnancy went on. They kept on checking me. At the point, I think maybe at the 8th month, or there was 7.5 months or thereabout, I think it was at 8th month, I started going every week, every week. So a day every week I was going in for doctor's appointments. And then everything was smooth. It was okay, no issues. They explained to me, they already told me in the beginning how to get to labor and delivery. I had already gone there because of my, experience with skipped beats of the baby. So I didn't need to, you didn't need to over explain. I'd already been there, done that. So I knew my way around. So like a day to my EDD, I started feeling, contractions in the morning, but it wasn't as intense. So I'm like, I had a feeling in me that, okay, I think it's almost time. But when they say you give birth on most women do not give birth on their EDD, except it's like a CS or something. I wasn't expecting, otherwise. I was thinking it's either a day before or a day after. It's always thrown off. So when I felt the mild contractions a day before my EDD, I was like, oh, okay, is this baby trying to come today? But then again, it wasn't intense. So I was just mindful. So I went about my day. I had a lot of stuff to do. My parents were around. I had a lot of, I still even went to Walmart that day. I did some shopping that day. I walked around Walmart. It was now getting, was getting a lot more intense, but still far apart. So I still was like, okay, I don't think it's time to time it. Now I was very intentional about not just being alarmed and running to the hospital, because I didn't want to get sent back. I've heard a lot of stories of people who run to the hospital when they feel a little bit of contraction, and then they check them, they are just 2 centimeters, and they send them back home. I didn't want that story for myself, because I already moved far away from that area and I didn't want to change hospitals. So I didn't want to get sent back after going all the way. So I, went about my business for that day. The evening, I go back home. I had gone for a check, an appointment a day or two before, and they had checked me. They had said I was either 1 centimeter or two. I was really, really very much early in the whole dilation of a thing. So I wasn't really bothered. I went about my day, contractions getting, a little bit more intense, but far apart. So did all my walking around. I mean, I felt like, well, walking around is going to be good for me anyway. So did all my running around in Walmart, Superstore, and all of that. Came back home, and then I started feeling it more and started becoming closer. So my mom had advised them to sit on, the yoga ball that they ask you to get to, soften your pelvis. So I did that. I was bouncing on that at about 9 to 10 p.m. ish. It was now getting closer. So I started timing the 511. So I did the timing. It wasn't 511 yet. It was still a little bit off. So I'm like, okay, let's still wait a little bit more. I can still manage. It was intense. Might I tell you, it was intense, but I didn't want to get sent back. So at around, would I say 11 p.m. or 12? No, it was actually around 12:30 a.m. or thereabout. My timing was already, in fact, it was way past 511. So woke everybody, it's time to go. I mean, they couldn't sleep because they already knew maybe baby was coming. So I just called everyone, it's time to go. We got to the hospital around 1 a.m. or thereabout, or past 1, yeah, thereabout. As at that time, I had to pace my walking. I didn't even need a wheelchair. I was still able to walk because the contractions was on and off, on and off. So, I mean, the on part, I would stop, catch a breath, and then walk again. So I got to get to the reception. They will ask you to bring your ID and your health card. So you don't, so just make sure you have that in your purse or your hospital bag or whatever. And I gave that to them at the reception. They asked a few questions to confirm or validate my identity. And then a nurse came to ask me questions about how I was feeling. And I gave her all the details of the 0511 and everything and timing and all of that. They usually would do that to make sure that you're actually in active labor. And in between the conversation with the nurse, I had to pause because, contractions. And so she would give me time to get myself. And then when it releases me, I'll continue answering that question. So I think that went on for about 5 minutes or thereabout. And then it led me to a room so they could check. The doctor came in and checked and said, that my water already broke. And I mean, I didn't know. I was always wearing, something to uh, guide myself in case of discharge and stuff. So I didn't know that water already broke. And well, I was 6 centimeters dilated. And then they asked me, do you want an epidural? I'm like, at this point, these contractions, I'm already dying. You might as well just give me the epidural right now. Like, please, I need it. So I asked for the epidural and they said, okay, they've led me to my labor room. I mean, changed me to a gown and all of that. They already started an IV line as usual, led me to the labor room, was already prepared. And they prepped me for epidural. The doctor came in, administered the epidural, which was a little painful, but I'm grateful for it. I am very grateful for it. So I got it, and I mean, I know there's a lot of controversies about epidural, people getting back pains or anything like that. I didn't, just to let you all know that I didn't experience any back pains or anything. But if I was feeling that type of pain at 6 centimeters, no, I wasn't going to wait till 10 centimeters. I was not ready to die. So I got the epidural, and it takes a while for it to kick in, I think a few minutes. And then they brought ice to check. So what they do is put ice in a bag or something. I don't know, can't really remember. I just know I felt ice here at the top of my body. They put ice here, I could feel it, but down below, I couldn't feel it. So that's to show you that the epidural is working. So they give you like a remote for you to release the epidural in your system bit by bit, I mean, and it's time, so you can't even over release it into your body. So it was good. I was chilled, hydrating. I couldn't eat, so I was drinking apple juice. Apple juice. I was drinking apple juice, just applying me apple juice on ice because I really wanted ice. For some reason, I was parched and I was wanting iced drink, like drink with ice in it. So the nurses were really nice. They got me my iced apple. My husband was there. He was just like, is this happening? Is this for real? So at about I would say around 2 a.m. I was already at 8 centimeters and everything was looking good. By I think 3 or 4, I can't remember exactly what the hour was, but I was already at 10. Now because of the epidural, I wasn't feeling anything. I was just they just put like a peanut shell shaped kind of balloon between your legs, just to help so that baby is in good position. And then at 10 centimeters, they check, they say baby was face up. Was it face up or face down? The position where baby just has to, turn the face. It wasn't breached or anything. His head was down, but his face was either up or down. I can't really remember. But they needed baby to turn anyways. So they waited a bit more and baby turned at about 75%. Now when they said that they were waiting for too long, this was already like 8 or 10 a.m. in the morning even. I was at 10 centimeters and baby turned. It was turning actually. Turned 75%, didn't turn completely 100%, and then stopped turning. So they were, worried that I was staying too long in active labor and they were going to get a doctor to turn baby. So they had told me get a doctor to come try to turn baby and, and then we can go ahead with pushing. And if eventually they are unable to turn baby successfully, they might do an emergency cesarean section. So I'm like, okay. So yeah, so vaginal delivery, as long as myself and baby are fine, I'm good to go. So they said, okay. They went, I had to, get the doctor. And then my parents they were at the hospital, they were worried. Especially my dad, because mom could come in, she could come in and go out but as the man now, he sat outside and was just waiting, chilling. As future grandpa, he was just chilling outside and waiting. I know he's chilling, his mind and everything, his soul and everything was inside the whole chilling, but I mean, it was just outside anyway. And mom was coming in and going, she was in, so she knew the status of everything at every point, and she was feeding him, feedback. I think, but she was like, it was like he's coming, like he wanted to come and see me. That then they called my husband from downstairs. That was it okay for them to come in? I was like, yeah, sure. They only allowed 2 guests in the room at a time, so 3 of them couldn't come in. So she left for him to come in, and then he came in. He just held my hand and said, "It is well with you." And I said, "Amen, thank you, so you'll be strong." And then he left. And then after he left, the doctor came in. So the doctor came in, and then she checked me, and she was like, "Oh, we're ready to push." And then the nurses are like, we called you so you can help turn it. But she was like, well, this baby is already ready to come out. Baby's already turned. Like, I don't need to do anything. She was even looking confused as to why they called her in the first place. So they're like, okay. And the nurses were looking at me like, wait, what did your dad come to do? I'm like, I don't know. Are we ready to push? I mean, epidural, I don't do body now, so I wasn't feeling anything. So it was time to push. They prepped me and we pushed and another pushing no be here. We pushed, and baby arrived at 1:11 p.m. on exactly EDD, and it was 3.47 kg. I mean, I've seen videos of people give birth and they cry, they're so emotional. I'm like, I'm not sure I'm going to be that emotional. It's just a baby. My Lord and my God. After all the pushing, when he came out, my goodness, I just wanted to hold him. Like, it felt so surreal. Like, is this really mine? And then he was crying and he was screaming apparently, but I couldn't hear him scream. I'm like, is he crying properly? They're like, yeah, he's screaming. Like, I can hear him cry, but he wasn't screaming in my own ears anyway. I don't know what was going on in my ears at that time because I was just waiting. I was crying. We're all emotional. So baby came, and as soon as baby came, Tony, right? I'm trying to watch, but at least at first, they'll clean up baby and all of that. And then I see a team of, is it doctors and nurses? I don't know. By baby's side, like once they take baby off, you put your baby on side, and I saw like a team of plenty people on baby, clean up, done diaper, whatever. Like they did everything. And before I knew it, they had all disappeared, and baby was already, this diaper, this cap, and he's already swallowed. Okay. So they gave baby to me. I'm like, that's pretty fast. Like that was super amazing. It was so fast. It was really fast. And then, the nurses were still, they cleaned me up as well. They were working on me while they were working on baby. So after cleaning me up a bit, they gave me baby to hold for the, skin to skin, whatever, for I think it was about an hour or thereabouts. I can't really remember. And then I did my husband did his as well. And they cleaned me up. It was time to, you know, leave the labor room to the ward now. So they gave me like a bed bath and all, cleaned me up, put me on another hospital gown, put me in a wheelchair, put baby on my hand, and then wheeled me to the room. And then, all my senses started coming back. Like reality started setting in that, oh, you actually gave birth. And then slowly epidural started wearing out. And then I started feeling the pain of giving birth. It wasn't funny. So, my people came to the room. They already put the baby in the bassinet. Grandpa was already, it was all over the baby already. They didn't even care about me anymore. And then, got food. And then the following day, yeah, I was discharged the following day, 24 hours after I gave birth, actually. There was really nothing to hold me back. They took baby's blood work, hearing test, eye test, all of those things. They did all of that, show you how you breastfeed baby. I mean, there are breastfeeding classes that you could attend before giving birth. I just watched a couple of videos. I'm like, it can't be that hard. And really, it wasn't that hard. Maybe because I was just lucky. Anyway, my milk production came, I think, 2 or 3 days after I gave birth, so it was fine. It didn't have any formula. I was lucky. In fact, I already bought one for pack of formula just in case because I can't keep myself, but I didn't even get to use it. So got back home the following day after I was discharged, 24 hours after I gave birth. Got back home, and then before I got back home, I was discharged. They had given me documents, things that will help me register baby's birth, and documents I will take back to my OBGYN when I leave. I think it's usually is it a 1 week or 2 weeks after you give birth, you need to see your doctor so they can check on you and all of that. So they gave me documents to give to the doctor and documents I'll use for the birth registration. So I didn't need to do the birth registration there and then. They didn't. I did that. Okay, yes. I think they asked for baby's name, but I didn't give them a name. As a Yoruba person now, we have to wait 7 days to name baby, even though uh we're still looking at okay, which one will be first name, which one will be second name. But we already had names, but we weren't sure which one was going to be first or second name. At least we had 7 days to decide. Then after the naming, we could do whatever after the naming, we've already picked the name there. So they used my name, Alice's boy, as his name, so that they could get him, I think health card number, health number, and all of that. So they gave me all of those documentation, and I took them home, and then we got home the following day after I gave birth, and then the day after the following day, the day after I got back home from the hospital, a an healthcare practitioner from an health center came home to visit. They had already told me that somebody was coming to visit. So she came in, checked my blood pressure, checked my belly and all of that, and checked baby, checked to make sure baby is fine, and they checked for jaundice for baby as well. So his jaundice level was a little high. And then they asked us to come to the health center the following day so that they could monitor. So we went, and then it was still, in a range where it was a little high, but they were like, it's not bad, but come again the following day. So we went again the following day, and then it dropped. So they were like, perfect. They asked you to monitor baby's pee and poop, and it was fine. And then when that health center person came, practitioner came, she gave me like documents, like guides, help when you need help with baby. This is the number to call. If you're feeling postpartum depression or any kind of, you just need help, basically, these are the numbers to call. So there's like early start and all of that they give. There's a lot of papers, but all I did was just keep a Ziploc and just throw all of them in. Anything has to do with baby or hospital or whatever, just throw everything in there so that when I need anything, I know I'm going straight into it. So after that, we after my baby was fine and everything, went on the baby naming ceremony 7 days after baby had the name. Then after the naming, I did the birth registration online. Okay, so and every week or 2 weeks or thereabouts, you go into office to check yourself and baby, and that was pretty much everything. It was really smooth. I love the nurses. Yes, in the hospital, the room I got was for 2 people, but I only ended up staying in the room. So they give you ice pads, disposable underwear and peri bottle. But of course, I used my own peri bottle. And after all the backpacking, hospital backpacking and all of that, the only thing I used in that bag was the peri bottle. And then when we were about to go home, the only thing that I needed from the bag or that I took from the bag was just an outfit for myself and baby when we were going home. And that was it. And of course, except and the peri bottle as well, because that was very much practical compared to what was provided at the hospital. But that was pretty much it. We didn't need the hospital bag, all the packing and all that. We didn't need anything. I mean, I'm happy that I was over prepared. I mean, as opposed to being underprepared. So it was good. My experience was amazing. The nurses were superb. They were really nice, accommodating. They they were just amazing. They're really good. And this is my experience, my personal experience at Rockyview General Hospital. And I can recommend Rockyview General Hospital because of my experience, right? And if I will be going through that process again, I would like to do it at the Rockyview General Hospital. That's it today. That's it for today's video. I hope you like this video, and I hope that my experience has made some moms relate. I found out later after I gave birth, and people were calling to say congratulations and say hello to me and all of that. Everyone was interested in the story of the birth. Apparently, there's always a story. So like now, I'm sharing my story to everyone. And of course, everyone that called, they heard the story. So I hope you guys like, share, subscribe to my channel, please. And I'll be seeing you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.